Quarterback Aaron Rodgers to make a decision for the 2026 season. General Manager Omar Khan said Tuesday at the Combine that the door is open for Rodgers to return and added that neither side wants this to drag out. Elsewhere, Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's future is up in the air this offseason. General Manager John Eric Sullivan said Tuesday that everything is on the table with Tua, including the possibility of a trade. Raiders pass rusher Max Crosby has also been part of trade rumors this offseason, but General Manager John Spytek said Tuesday he's confident Crosby will be on the Raiders roster in 2026. And the Lions were announced as one of the teams that will play in Munich, Germany in 2026. This will be part of a record 9 international games to be played next season. This is then NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. We need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hahn.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome into Sports Daily. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to you. It is a great Wednesday. The weather is turning. We're getting ready to hopefully get into a better weather season here. We're getting into a great part of the sports season. We're coming down the home stretch of college basketball. We'll have Wichita State Athletic Director Kevin Saul joining us in a little bit here in this hour, and in the next hour, we'll have our KU Insider Shreyas Laddha to join us. Should be a lot of fun today. Jacob Albrecht alongside TJ Cleveland. Everything coming your way is What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the seasonal release English Mild. Easy to drink at only 3.4 ABV, but full of flavor to warm you up through the last of winter. English Mild available at all 3 WBC locations, East, West, Historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Jacob, I'd like to say that I'm well rested after a day off of radio yesterday, but I think I need about 5 more of those to catch up. I don't think there's ever a day where I'm going to wake up where my alarm says 5 or a 6 on it. That makes me feel like I'm well rested when this show begins. And I know I say that, and there's about 100 people driving to work to go dig ditches right now. I've been up since 4:30 this morning.
I know. I get it. I hear you. I'm the same way. We've been on this shift now for probably a year or more.
I don't think that there's ever been a time that we've done this show at 7 a.m. where I'm like, man, let's start the day. Golly. Every time
I've always been a night person. I've always been a night person going back to when I was a little kid. I've always liked staying up late. But we're getting there, and we're glad to have a lot of good things to talk about. I'm glad the weather, I'm glad we're getting close to the end of February. January and February are my least favorite months of the year. And we get into March. March is a good month. March happens to be, I think, both of our birthday months. You have March birthday?
That's right. Yep.
We get into the warmer weather, and TJ, does February March?
What?
Does February March?
Is that like March is the verb?
No, but April, May.
All right.
Get it?
All right.
Quick shout out to a listener there. That's just for you, Jason. On X, who says it's his birthday and all he wants to do is start the day with a dad joke and a shout out on Sports Daily. Happy birthday, Jason. Dad jokes, something we used to incorporate a lot on this show. Maybe I should do that. I don't I don't know that TJ's got the eye roll that Tommy had, but we could bring those back. We need Max. Max, you're gonna have to be quick on the rim shots though. If we're gonna bring back dad jokes to the program. Happy birthday, Jason. No, it's a good time of year. I love this time of year. We've got baseball sniffing around a little bit, spring training happening. Royals fans are all fired up because they might have stadium news, and Jack Caglione's hitting the ball 460 feet yesterday in spring training. All the good stuff. We've got, the NFL Combine, which I'll be honest with you, might be my least favorite of the things people make a big deal about. I'm sorry, the Combine's never been something that gets me very excited. It's just like there's funny stuff that happens at the Combine. There's things, I guess, that make you go, oh man, Xavier Worthy just ran the fastest 40 time, or I don't know, but like I don't need to see a bunch of dudes in tights getting measured with tape measures. Like I don't care. Like how you play football. I just whatever.
I'm very much in the camp of I watched the Combine to say, ooh, I remember that guy in college. Ooh, I remember that guy in college. But I am definitely not in the camp of the sickos out there that are like, ooh, this is a guy to have on your big board Chiefs fans.
Did you check his shuttle? Did you see that shuttle time?
Tight end 7. This could be a big piece for us to take in the next 6th round. Like NFL draft sickos are like the worst kind of sicko there is in college sports or in sports in general, excuse me. And I'm a sicko, and I've told you how much I watch college basketball and how random stats get me going about things. And I love the NFL, but I cannot for the life of me be like, man, good 4th round value here. Did you watch this guy's tape from Oregon State this year? It's like, no. What? Did you?
Didn't. Sure did not.
So I go into the draft.
I didn't see him play.
I go into the draft, and it's like, all right, the Chiefs have blank pick. That could say there's about these 4 guys. Like, oh, it was that guy. All right. And then we see where the rest plays out. I have no idea about anything else. I don't waste my time making mocks.
I say that. I'm a big draft connoisseur, though. That's really where I
love the draft. But I'm not making mock drafts and acting like I know anything.
No. But I do lean into the analyst when, like, whenever guys are getting picked, like I generally I like to hear a bunch of different people's take on a player at that point, right? When that's happening, not now, now. I might read some stuff now about
it's the same. It's also the same thing. Once you get into that point too, it's also the same thing as the transfer portal of how fans react. It's
Everybody's a great player.
Ooh, they just got Esapole from Washington State. That's a big get. It's like,
yeah,
is he a big? Do you know anything about Esapole?
That Kingsley Suamataia, he's gonna be the left tackle for years.
Oh man, I remember watching him against the Cats this year. He really is a difference maker. It's like, were you watching the left tackle? Were you really?
You weren't. So we'll get into Brett. One thing that is good though, which is where I was headed. It's kind of like the winter meetings. A lot of business, I think, gets done when you get everybody in the same place. Yesterday, Brett Veach talked for a long time, and it was really good stuff. So we'll take you through some of what he had to say yesterday, some of what other GMs had to say about certain players that might impact the Chiefs. There was a lot to take away from that day that didn't have anything to do with hand size. So we'll get into all of that as well today. We've got it'll be a fun show. We've got some giveaways for you today. We'll take you through. It's a good time of the year. It is. The sports calendar has turned.
It is. Let me tell you, Jacob, I was perusing the college basketball guide yesterday, trying to find something to watch. And I was like, all right, I'm just looking at the logos on YouTube TV. And I was like, what is the most of a trap spot I can go find there last night? I was like, Iowa State at Utah. And I picked like the only one that wasn't a trap spot. They beat them by 20. UCF was beating BYU on the road by 35 points at one point.
Oof.
They beat them on the road. UCF's a tournament team now after that. And then Baylor almost beat Arizona. It was like a 3-point game.
I'm afraid BYU is going to start getting dinged, even though they've had some big wins. Like when you go to UCF and it's like, oh, look at UCF 21. Well, yeah, but BYU didn't have Saunders. Like I'm just waiting for the committee to disappoint us all. That was it, right? Baylor kept Arizona close. I saw that.
Yep. That was a good. They almost won that game. Arizona came back in the last minute or whatever and put it away. But yeah, it's chaos.
Nothing from the American last night. We go into tonight, though, and there are some games to watch. The most notable is Tulsa on the road at Tulane. Shockers kind of need that. That'd be real handy. South Florida at Rice, probably not going to happen. But Tulsa at Tulane is one to watch. Tulane's just a 4.5-point dog in that game. So that one could be interesting as far as those things go. Speaking of the Shockers, we're going to have Kevin Saul in just a minute to chat it up about Wichita State and what's going on there with the Shockers. Speaking of college basketball, do want to tell you that this March, the madness is not just on the court. It's taking over downtown Wichita. Join KFH for Hoops for Heroes at the 9th Floor Club and Venue on March 20th. From midday madness, buffet lunches to evening madness in the Cloud9 Cigar Lounge, it's the ultimate tournament watch party. Enter the Ultimate Bracket Challenge. 100% of bracket proceeds benefit CanVets United, supporting our local heroes. Get tickets, brackets, learn how you can be a member for a day at 9thfloorwichita.com with 97.5 and 1240 KFH. TJ, we had a chance to check out the 9th Floor. That is going to be a beautiful, beautiful setup to watch March Madness. And if you're a cigar guy, that Cigar Lounge is legit. So check out the 9th Floor venue and enter the contest. Get your tickets and brackets right now. Member for a day there at the 9th Floor. All right, we're coming back. Kevin Saul, Wichita State Athletic Director, joins the show when we return.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to have you here. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being a great supporter of the program. It's golf weather right now. It's coming in hot to golf weather. 36 holes out at Crestview. Go check them out. If you haven't seen them, take a tour of the facility. All kinds of great stuff. We're getting close to pool season. They've got the best in town. Tell them we sent you here from Sports Daily. If it does get too cold, just pop into the simulators. They've got 2 full system simulators with all the TVs and stuff to watch your sports. It's a great spot. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for being here. We are connecting with Kevin Saul here on the program. Kevin, do we have you?
You got it. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great. Thanks for having us on.
I assume you're joining in your best Hawaiian. We just can't see it over the phone today on the video streams.
You can't see it. We're celebrating a doubleheader sweep in Hawaii with our baseball team on Sunday, which was big. I don't think the Rainbow Warriors have lost a doubleheader at home since 2018. I think is the stat. So
no way.
Really good day for baseball on Sunday to capture 2 of the 4. Really tough place to play. Great test for our baseball team, and I really love the way the guys responded.
Let's just real quick while we're on that, before we go to basketball. Last year did not go the way Brian Green, the staff, you guys wanted it to go, and it was a little bit of a surprise. This year we don't know, probably have different sorts of expectations. Maybe the surprise comes the other way, though. You like this group?
Well, our expectations are high. I can tell you the first year, Coach Green's tenure here, as you guys know, we were up and down, had a really bad April, a great May that really launched us into the championship game of the American Conference Tournament, lost that game in the 10th inning to go to our first NCAA regional and whatever it was at that point in time, 11 years, I think. Last year was certainly a significant disappointment for Brian, the staff, myself, and we've worked relatively hard in the off season to provide the resources and make sure we understand where we fell short. We've got 31 new players on this roster. We have 4 new staff members on the baseball specific staff, and the expectations are really high. I think what you saw the first weekend against Northern Colorado, obviously you can take those results, no disrespect to Northern Colorado, with a grain of salt, but I think what you learned is that we're going to be able to hit the ball well, still have to define roles in pitching, but I think that role clarity, we got a little bit more of that in Hawaii. We had 4 really solid outings from a starting standpoint, and are starting to identify 6-7 arms out of the bullpen that we think are very reliable arms. So to come away from Hawaii having won 2 of those 4 is certainly a positive. And then we got a 4-game set against Omaha this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it continues on. We'll continue to learn and hope those roles get clarified more and more as we approach conference play.
We're excited for baseball season. We're excited for basketball as well, as we're in the final days of the month of February, which means that March is right around the corner. Every single game matters, and it's not just for Wichita State anymore. There's a lot of box score watching going on around the American. Have you been tuned in? Are you like us, refreshing at night, trying to see if there was any upsets around the league?
I am much more so like you guys than I am the basketball staff. Basketball staff's focused on the next game, right? Going 1-0. The very next game. Obviously, we're dialed into standings, paying a close attention to that. With 3 games left, you've got South Florida that's leading, that's sitting a couple of games. Well, really now 1 game ahead of us, but they've played 14 games and we've played 15, so it's a game and a half. We're tied with Tulsa, but we have the tiebreaker over Tulsa. So preseason, we were picked 5th, sitting in 2nd right now, but it's really tight. You've got UAB at 9 wins, Tulane and Charlotte at 8. We've got 3 games left. We're at 7-7 Memphis tomorrow night, and then we're at 1-14 in league UTSA on Sunday, and then we close out next Saturday, March 7th, against 7-8 Florida Atlantic, which we took a tough loss at Florida Atlantic early on in the season. So we need to finish strong. The goal is to finish in the top 2, guys. As you know, 1 and 2 get a double bye into the semis of the conference tournament. 3 and 4 get a bye into the quarters of the conference tournament. So securing that 2 seed it means a lot. It's worth a lot as it comes to your chances to get into the NCAA tournament.
Clearly, Shocker fans, Kevin Saul, athletic director of Wichita State, joining us. Clearly, Shocker fans have caught on. Your crowds, the attendance, the buzz seems to be growing each and every week. What's it like being Kevin Saul walking down the street today on February 25th versus, let's say, I don't know, November? I mean, can you feel it? Is it tangible?
Yes, it is. The answer to that question is it feels the same. We believe in what we're doing. We think direction determines destination. We feel like we're headed in the right direction. If you look at the Paul Merrill's head coaching era, going all the way back to 6 years at Oral Roberts and now 3 years at Wichita State, provided things go well and we close out the season strong this year, he will have improved his record every single year for 9 years. And you can go back and look at the history on that. And certainly he's a grower. He's a builder. We feel good about that. Really excited about the fan response. It's mirroring in some ways very similarly to the TBT over the summer. And we talked about that late summer, early falls. Can we catch that momentum? We feel like we have and we can. We are coming off of, we had 8,100 folks at the game against Temple. We had a great celebration of 3 alumni teams, Mike Kennedy, but we announced just short of 8,100. Prior to that, we were at just short of 7,600. Prior to that, we were just short of 6,700. So we've had 3 consecutive largest crowds of the year in Charles Koch Arena. And it's so critically important to our program. Our men's basketball program, as you guys know, is our financial engine that drives everything that we do at Wichita State. And from sponsoring 16 sports to doing all the things that we want to do, it is critically important that men's basketball and baseball provide the revenue for us to be able to do that. And what that means for men's basketball is we've got to have a consistent 8,000 to 10,000 folks in Charles Koch Arena. Just critically important to us in everything that we want to do.
It's important for the university when the basketball team can have the level of success that, they're having a pretty good level of success right now. As you and I spoke on the other day, Kevin, is the question now becomes in the new era of college sports, is it sustainable? Can you do it again next year with the portal that looms, with everything that looms about that? Do you think this is something that, can catapult into further momentum, I guess?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be in the business if we didn't feel like we could grow. And TJ, as we talked about on your show, on Sunday, that growth is critically important, right? you guys know, and we started my journey here at Wichita State in the summer of 22, and we were a year into the NIL roster resource era, and Wichita State hadn't done a whole lot. In fact, had done very little that first year, which put us significantly behind. And as we talked about on your show the other night, TJ, I feel really good about where we are right now in relation to our league. I will feel incredibly well, very good about where we are next year in terms of our planned growth with roster resources for men's basketball. And we're excited about that. We continue to invest in that. I think what's important for our fan base to understand is, we talk a lot about, does success come first before support and investment? And from our perspective, from the department's perspective and the university's perspective, there is no chicken and egg. At the end of the day, if you want something to be better, you've got to invest time, effort, and energy into that. We are investing time, we're investing effort, we're investing significant resources on the front end because we understand that is the formula that produces the results that we desire. Consistent NCAA tournaments, getting into the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. We can't wait around for that to happen and then go fundraise. We have to fundraise and create the dollars now that will, in effect, make that happen.
Kevin, on some of that, on the retention, you guys, and this is a part of something else you've talked to TJ about recently. We've seen states around it. You can see a story on 12 News for more details, but there is a push in some states, and you guys, along with your peers at KU and K-State, considering at least what that could look like for the state of Kansas. Where is that born? And just give people some sense of what you guys are trying to accomplish by visiting Topeka and visiting with lawmakers in this ever-evolving college landscape.
Yeah, simply put, what we're trying to accomplish is to maintain a competitive posture. At the end of the day, I think it's important for fans to understand that the athletic departments at Wichita State, at Kansas State, and Kansas are significant contributors financially to the state of Kansas as it relates to economic development, tourism, and all of those things that come with sporting events. We started about 6 months ago a conversation and a journey with Kansas State and Kansas and had a study done that we have shared, and that's a public study that indicates that on an average year, those three athletic departments contribute just short of $1.6 billion with a B dollars of economic development to the state of Kansas. Well, that's critical to the state, from access and affordability to quality of life to tax base. All of those economic development pieces are critically important. And what's important to that is that we maintain a competitive posture, right? That Kansas State and Kansas maintain a league-leading posture in the Big 12, that we do so in the American, because at the end of the day, guys, the worst-case scenario is you look 5 years down the road and that $1.6 billion is now $1.1 billion. And that's not good for the state of Kansas. That's not good for anybody. So at the end of the day, we've got to remain competitive in this new athletics climate and environment. And so for us, it is a formula. At the end of the day, we're talking to anybody and everybody that has the ability to impact change, to impact support, and to do things in a unique and different way to maintain those three athletic departments' competitiveness and the economic development for the state. The worst case scenario is that you get to that 2032, 2033 window where you're going to see another wave of conference realignment. And departments like Kansas State and Kansas ending up like Oregon State and Washington State. And that's not what you want. You want to make sure that your programs remain competitive and that they're competing at the highest level, because it's good economically for the state and it's great economically for the universities, guys. And we haven't even really talked about student recruitment and student retention on these campuses. And athletics is such a critical part of campus life and that recruitment and retention process.
It's more important than ever to be creative, I think, is the way that all three of the athletic directors put it. I'll ask you this, Kevin, switching gears a little bit, but still being creative. Every home game in the Roundhouse in the month of February has been a really big one, and you guys have kind of pulled out some stops to try to get people in the door. You get one home game in the month of March. Is there anything creative going on behind the scenes for that one?
Yeah, we've got a lot of creative stuff going on for that one that obviously we will announce here. We're a couple of weeks away, but we'll announce here as we go. typical window for that to be the most effective is in that 7 to 8 day range, and so you'll start to see some things late this week, early next week. But at the end of the day, boy, guys, you guys know all of the elements that have transpired over the last 5 years, and it is a challenge, and it's a challenge that we're up to, of getting people back in Koch Arena. And so you've seen the last several games, guys. We've offered tickets at $11.50 per ticket or $12.50 per ticket. Really, in the long term, unsustainable as we talk about an economic engine that fuels an entire athletics department. But we firmly believe that Shocker Nation has spoken and we're listening. We talk about $10 GA TBT tickets over the summer, and we're trying to get as close to that as we can. But at the end of the day, we have to also understand that that's largely unsustainable as we go moving forward. We believe getting people back into Koch Arena, giving them an opportunity to see the program and how it's changed over the last 3 years will create significant momentum as we get into a season ticket renewal process that for us guys will start the third week in March this year. So shortly, hopefully we're still playing, but at the end of the day, we plan to come out with our season ticket renewals March 24th. And we want to capitalize and generate additional excitement based on the success of the team this year. We have got to get to 8,000 to 10,000 consistently in Charles Koch Arena to do everything that we want to do.
And the next opportunity to do that, the last opportunity of the season, we think will be against Florida Atlantic on March 7th. Before that, though, a big one Thursday night. It's a late tip, national television at Memphis, the good rivalry game. Kevin, we assume you'll make the trip with the team. Be safe on that trip, and let's see if the Shockers can get into those top two slots headed into Birmingham in a couple of weeks.
Sounds great, guys. Yep, team's wheels up at 4:00 this afternoon, and again, play late game tomorrow night. Really critical spot for us tomorrow night. Need to have some success down there, and then move on to San Antonio, and then close it out strong back home. So just would encourage the fan base. March 7th against Florida Atlantic, that's Saturday. We need a packed house. That game could be incredibly meaningful as it relates to seeding and conference tournament play. So thanks for having us on the show, guys. Really appreciate it, and go Shockers.
There goes Kevin Saul. Not too much barbecue before the game down there in Memphis. It's great. Have you been to Memphis, TJ? Thank you to Kevin Saul, by the way. Have you been to Memphis, TJ?
I have not been to Memphis.
Boy, I got to go to Memphis right when I first got here. It was the Liberty Bowl.
I know. I was going to say that's the only reason that we go to Memphis. I feel like it's for the Liberty Bowl every year.
I went with Photog, and I met Bruce Hurdle out there. Did we pick Bruce up? No, we did not pick Bruce up. Bruce rode back with us, but we didn't pick Bruce up. He met us out there. Headed out there. This was my first bowl game to cover of any kind. It was a pretty big bowl game. It was Arkansas. Like, it was going to be a good one. Get out there, have dinner the first night. And I don't think I've ever been as sick in my life as I was for the next 3 days. Yep. Just sick as a dog. And finally, the last day, which was game day, I had some semblance of energy. I was able to cover, but we're in Memphis, New Year's, ready to party on Beale Street, and just laid on a hotel room, bathroom floor for 3 days. God, I was so sick. So I did get one good barbecue meal in at the very end of the trip. But it was a cool town. We had a good time. They did. I didn't.
I know. I need to get out. I'm gonna go out there one year for a Shockers Memphis game. If they keep doing this, they're the rivals now. I know Tulsa's the big rival, but there's something to be said about it.
Memphis is the rival. I think it is the realistic goal for Shocker basketball. Memphis does pretty consistently, I think, put about 10,000 in its arena. It's always been a huge college basketball town. And I think Wichita State can be what Memphis has been. They're having a down year, but lots of great players. I don't think Wichita State needs to be, in the market for some of the players Memphis has come in and out of there. But, they, at least from a fan's perspective and level of success and support, I think Memphis and Wichita State could easily be the banner carriers of this league. Glad to see it, man. It's been so nice to see.
I think
Koch Arena buzzing like it has been.
You know what this game reminds me about is that I think this is the only 8 p.m. tip the Shockers have had this year. And that is very nice.
I'm gonna check that. Nope. at Florida Atlantic earlier in the year. They had the 8 window.
That's right. All right. They used to have 8 o'clock games at home. It felt like every week.
Well, right, because of the television window. Back in the crazy old days, yes. Yes, they did. You could catch soccer basketball on national TV all the time. That stuff matters. This is important. Thanks, Kevin Saul. If you missed any of it, go back on the Odyssey app. You can listen to it there. We're going to come back. We got lots to get to today. Shreyas Laddha is going to join us, talk a little KU later. We've got to talk what Brett Veach had to say at the Combine as well. It's all coming for you on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
On KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, here to Sports Daily. Glad to have you with us on your way into work. Want to keep listening in the car, even after you park the car. You can with the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com. Just download the app, visit Odyssey.com, search for KFH. You can listen to us anytime at that point. Max gets the show podcasted out for us each and every day. We'll get to the Brett Veach comments in the next hour yesterday from the Combine. TJ, you were at Big Monday. Haven't had your thoughts on that yet. KU, boy, it's interesting, isn't it? We get into this continuous cycle of Kansas basketball of, oh my gosh, how could they lose like that to Cincinnati? Oh my gosh, this team's better off without Darren Peterson. He's got to go. I know the frustrating part is that we've still got to wait to see the best of it, but I still feel like we still are waiting to see the best of KU, and that's an exciting thing.
It wasn't the best of KU on Monday night, but I think that Monday night was the biggest arrow pointing in the right direction that we've seen in a while on the terms of the fact it wasn't the best that they looked, but it's the fact that we've said they need to find a way to win games whenever Peterson can't play. Peterson played. Houston smothered him. They double-teamed him every time he touched the ball.
Peterson didn't play well. Flory Badunga didn't play. And we're talking strictly offense here because everybody played well defensively.
Exactly.
Peterson didn't play well. Badunga didn't play well. Melvin
and that
Townsend
was more
didn't play well.
And Self has talked about for so long about whenever he is on the court, the amount of gravity that Peterson makes the other team do or give opens up other people. And they double teamed Peterson every time he touched the ball. That wasn't so much the fact that Peterson didn't play well. He was forcing shots because he was getting double teamed. Yeah. The fact that they can figure out ways outside of him and outside of Melvin Council and outside of Flory Badunga, and it turned into Trey White and him having a big game. That's a really big deal. And, I think that may be a recipe that, and I spoke on this a little bit, that may be a recipe where it's maybe Peterson shouldn't be I'm going to go get. I know. I mean, but listen,
he took 14 shots in that game. That's I'm pretty comfortable with that number.
I don't. It doesn't need to be 20. It doesn't.
Unless he's making a bunch of them.
Correct. I think it needs to be run through everything. Runs through the bigs that we always say. Try that. And then whenever you get to the grenade part where there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock, it's all right, where's Peterson? Just go get a bucket.
Yeah, look, he's prolific of a scorer enough. You've got him in the think back to the Oklahoma State game. Game like that.
If he's doing that, take 30. That's right, my
that's
point.
What I'm saying. And that adaptability has got to be the thing that they figure out, and they haven't been able to because they haven't had enough minutes with him. I thought one of the best things against Houston is he finished the game, obviously, but there toward the end, it kind of slogged out. Houston's really good, right? Yep. Let's not forget Houston's really good. And they started to chip away a little bit. And that's those moments where people are they were playing way better when Peterson was on the bench. And maybe they were at that moment. But the thing that I liked about the game was Bill Self left him out there for them to sort of figure it out, and that you could see it happening, right? Peterson on certain plays was the designed point guard. On certain plays, Melvin Council was. Like, they were working through some stuff to protect that lead. The thing I liked more than anything is he played 30 minutes and they played their best defensive game of the year. So that is,
and it was also, I don't know if you guys
as long as
talked
he
about,
can do that, TJ, we're talking about to everyone that's like they're better without him. You can either have Darren Peterson or you can have like Marco Jackson, Jamari McDowell. And I like both of those players long term, but it's not really a close comparison at this point.
I think it needs to, and honestly, like looking at BYU, it's different, obviously, but like especially now that Richie Saunders tore his ACL. But like looking at the way that DeBonsa plays there, like it's not really force feeding DeBonsta. At times, it definitely is, and like there's a lot of the like just get out of the way and let him do something. But with the pieces that they had around him, like they're so good with Rob Wright and Richie Saunders of where they were and everything like that. Like I think the worst version of KU. We talk about the different versions of KU a lot. I think the worst version of KU is when Peterson is forcing shots and he's not feeling it.
100%.
Like, and that's not often, but
offensively, yes, I agree.
Whenever he's on the court, that's what they do. And that's why in the games where he comes out early that they struggle, because whenever he's on the court, he takes the shot 75% of the time, which when he's feeling good, he should take the shot 90% of the time. And that's something, but I think that like, that's what Bill Self talks about, like finding the level of comfortability.
They need
by
both,
the way,
right? They need both.
By the way,
they had both against Houston.
Yeah. Sidebar tangent really quick. Is comfortability a word?
Comfortability is.
Yes. Okay. The Oxford Dictionary says no. I got in an argument with the producers because they said comfortability is not a word. You're just supposed to say comfort. But I think comfortability is a word. It's the ability to be comfortable. Anyways.
Yeah, it's apparently a quick Google says it is a controversial word.
I know. I'm learning about this. I said that in my story the other day about the level of comfortability around KU right now. Anyways,
I would say probably level of comfort would be the way I would say that. But listen, dictionary.com has it. So I don't know.
That's right. Anyways, I think that's the things that they will get worked out as they get through this stretch. If Peterson's healthy, they will learn to find the rhythm. Because whenever he doesn't play and you watch them play and everybody's like, they're better without Peterson. It's like, they're not, but they look really good because they are so good at sharing the ball and getting the shots that they want. It's not so much of finding the way of saying like, do that and Peterson score 30. It's the way of saying, Peterson, do that with him, I think.
Peterson has not been able to, unfortunately, for a lot of reasons. I think his personality is part of it. He's not been allowed to be as jovial out there as the other players. So I think people see them having the time of their lives and he's not, and it rubs people the wrong way. But like, to me, like, of course he's not having the time of his life. He has to listen to all of us every day while he's trying to work through something he's never had to work through before as an 18-year-old kid. Yep. He's probably not having the time of his life. And so with him, I think that translates. You've got these other guys, and I mean, they are having a blast out there, and it hasn't fit for him because he hasn't been able to participate in full. And so I think people see that and they're like, man, he's checked out and all these things. I don't think that's the case. For Peterson and KU to be their best, they need time to let it play out like it did against Houston for a full game, because the more they can do that, the more Trey White will be the open shooter, who, by the way, is a 40% three-point shooter.
He's been struggling recently,
but the more that they can go through those things, the more they realize, like, man, option 3 is wide open Trey White. We'll take that all day long.
That's what Bill Self has been saying since November saying, like, we need Peterson to go get hot, shoot a bunch of shots, and then it turns into, when guys are coming after him, that turns into 5-on-4 basketball because you take somebody out of the equation, basically.
That's right.
And that's
so
the whole idea.
Or Peterson is, he's having one of his on nights and offense comes easy for you.
Correct.
And you still have to lock in on defense, and you still have to do all these other things when that happens, and you still have to involve the bigs. But the bigs didn't play well on offense either. And that's what I loved about that game. Here's the reality about KU's defense, and here's my biggest reality with Darren Peterson. And the reason I keep going back to, if they don't get, I think this team will struggle in the tournament to win a bunch of games because of the way teams are attacking them. KU's got this defense that can absolutely, like, but you're not going to score. The way you can is by 3-point shots. That if you watch, and Houston shoots a lot of threes, so they're maybe not the best example, but teams are going to take a ton of threes against Kansas. Period. They have all year long. Kansas isn't bad at defending them as a total body of work, but when teams are taking a ton of them, at some point, teams are going to make them. Kansas didn't do its best job against Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat Kansas because they made a bunch of those shots. I think the last missing piece for Kansas is how do you, like, if you're in that kind of game, which happens in the tournament, it feels like all the time. You're in that kind of game where one of the teams just hot and hitting a bunch of threes. They have got to be able to keep up with that offensively. And I think, like, without Peterson out there, that's what I have a hard time seeing from this team. What can it do when a team just gets hot? Because we know now, we've seen it for the entire season, every team they play is going to try to take a ton of threes because they can't score with Florian Tiller down there. So every team's going to take a ton of threes. Boy, and if they hit a bunch of them,
I don't know.
Can KU keep up with that? And I don't know that I think they can without Peterson out there. Whether he's scoring or drawing attention or whatever it is, they've got to have him out there.
I mean, it's the same. I always say the recipe of teams that get upset in March, probably 65% of the time, is a team that's dominant on their big man. Because teams that are dominant on their big man can't score points as fast as teams that could shoot a bunch of threes, obviously. Like, it's simple math. And so, like, if he's not out there, all the offense comes from Tiller and Badunga, basically. And then it's like, well, can Melvin Council and Trey White carry the load of trying to mount a comeback? That was the issue with the Hunter Dickinson teams. All the offense ran through Hunter Dickinson. Can Zeke Mayo make enough threes to try to salvage something here? And, that
was it BYU or was it Arizona where Council took like 27 shots?
Arizona, I think.
Yeah, that's tough. Like, that's a big ask for Council. And so that's what I want to see the rest of the way is the offense with Peterson is the most important thing. What we got to see against Houston was that the defense with Peterson can be elite still.
Yep.
That's important. Now we need to see the offense with him reach elite status, which it honestly, like, it really hasn't this year.
I think
elite status, but I think we could all guess that it could get to that point.
I think that, everybody's been waiting, and myself included, I think just from a cool standpoint, but like everybody wants to see the Darren Peterson game and wants to see the 40 points, bunch of threes, that kind of thing. And like, it still feels like it's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, it would have happened if he finished the Oklahoma State game, probably.
Exactly. Like everybody's been waiting to see that, but I think that honestly now as a KU fan, you should be waiting to see more. Like, the most impressive thing that can be done in these final stretch of games is that he scores 20, Council scores 20, Flory scores 15, and it's one of the, like, then it's just like, wow, like, look at that. That's crazy. So,
yeah.
Other interesting take that I thought about as we go into Big 12 tournament play shortly, forever, KU has no reason to care about this tournament because, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but they play well in it.
They do. But, like, if they get bounced on Thursday, like, sometimes they talked about this, like, all right, well, that gives us an extra week off heading into this. Like, and, like, people kind of don't care about it when you're in the Big 12. You're not fighting for bids. KU's not going to be fighting for a bid, obviously. But KU, if you can get 3 games out of this thing.
Fighting for minutes for Peterson. I know. Yeah,
100%. Like, the games matter in the fact that you just got to go play games.
Yep. We need about 4 in a row of what we saw against you, just from a minutes perspective.
Maybe they should go big brain and just start tanking to get the 5 seed to get the Wednesday game too.
Yeah, I don't know, but the more the merrier. And I don't even care who they play, so I'm with you on that. Yes, I like that train of thought. Like, win them so you can play more of them, so you're ready for March. So you're ready for March Madness, I should say. We got another hour of the show coming. Headlines I missed. We will talk what Brett Veach had to say from the Combine yesterday. Shreyas Laddha, speaking of KU, will join us later in the hour as well. Stick around. We got more Sports Daily coming your way.
lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Headlines I missed coming up in just a couple of minutes here as we get you ready for an hour of Sports Daily. And we'll feature some Chiefs talk. Brett Veach talking from the Combine yesterday. What did he have to say? What does it all mean? Some things from other general managers that also perhaps pertain to the Chiefs. That's coming up, as well as Shreyas Laddha, our KU Insider, KU beat reporter for the KC Star. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring chili for a limited time. Hearty beef, no bean chili, perfect for lunch, and now available at all 3 WBC locations: East, West, Historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. It is a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. You can get your comments in to us. You can call us at 869-1240. You can leave us video comments on all our video feeds, all the different ways to get in touch with us. TJ, what do you got?
I got some, Max.
All right, Sports Daily fans, let's take you to the sports headlines Jacob probably didn't see.
All right, these are dating back a couple of days because I wasn't here yesterday. Did Paul have headlines?
He did not have headlines. Paul did not. I wasn't going to put that on the big fella.
All right. I got a couple that I've saved over the weekend that we haven't gotten to, so we'll just dig into what I got here saved for you. You a trading card guy, or you like some baseball cards?
No. I can't. I maybe I wish I was, but I can't.
I'm not. I can appreciate some good cards, but I can't get into the.
I'm always asking the people that are into it. I've got friends that are into it. I'm like, so what do you like? What do you do? Like, what's the end game? Like, what do you do with the cards? Like, let's say you get all the ones you want. What do you do with them? And they're like, well, you just have them. And I'm like, okay. I'm not a collectible guy. I'm not an autograph guy. Like, none of that's really for me.
Yeah. Anyways, well, I got one for you here. This was from Fanatics Collect over the weekend. There was a record sale that somebody bought a Josh Rosen rookie card over the weekend for $26,000.
Okay.
It's an all-time record price for any Josh Rosen cards, and it's 5 times higher than the previous record.
Why?
I don't know.
All right.
That's
what I mean.
It's a 2018 Panini Kaboom green. It's like a comic book card. So I assume
I've got some cool cards. My
if I had to take a stab, that this is somebody has trying to collect all of these comic book looking cards, and they need a Josh Rosen to collect the rookie set. So
I'll show you what I've got. I got 3 of these for Christmas. They're right behind me. I got for people on the video stream, I got a Larry Allen from my nephew, one of my favorite players of all time. He got me both of my 2 favorite players of all time, actually. Alvin Harper. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, and it's in like a case. That's nice. And another Larry Allen card. And then anonymously, I'm pretty sure it's my brother or one of his buddies, a Razor Ramon professional wrestler card here that I got. That's the collection.
I love
our great producers. Andrew got me some cool Rangers cards of some kind. That are on my office desk. I think that's all I have in my collection.
I used to be pretty big into it. I'm now a fan of collectibles. People talk all the time, get on a sidebar here, about like jerseys of players after they get traded and things of that nature. Like, I think the more obscure of a jersey that you can have, the cooler it becomes. Like, I've got some like deep cuts in my closet back home. I used to collect basketball, baseball, football jerseys. Like, I probably have 50 in my childhood closet. They're awesome of the range that they go from. Like, I have a LaMelo Ball Lithuania jersey. Like, whenever he played overseas, like those kind of things are so awesome to me. Like, and so like my baseball card collection, like I've got like 5 different Bubba Starling rookie cards. Like, the funnier ones like that are awesome to me. All right, let's keep going here.
If I'm collecting my favorite football players, I have Harper and Larry Allen. My other favorite player, non-Cowboy, was Merton Hanks. So if anybody's got a Merton Hanks card they're sitting around with, not knowing what to do with. Did you ever see Merton Hanks play?
I didn't know
his neck, he was a safety, played for the Seahawks, and he was awesome. And he had like a super long neck. And his celebration, like you do something awesome, and he would just like gangle his neck. I thought that was the coolest thing when I was a kid. I look up some Merton Hanks video.
Couple more for you here. This was news over the weekend that Gunnar Rivers Phillip Rivers' son, is committing to NC State to be
Saw that one.
the Wolfpack. Did you see the joke that was made ensuing?
No.
CF Budge, good college football account, said this trend holds true. NC State might have a quarterback factory for the next 30 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because all the different Rivers boys that they got.
He has. I don't know how many of his kids are boys. Not that I suppose
I
girl can't go be the quarterback at NC State.
They could have 30 years of Rivers
26.
quarterbacks popping into town there. The trend holds true. All right, let's keep going here. Speaking of other obscure collector type ish things, TCU football is going to Ireland in the game K-State played in. Their helmets, because everybody always wears the Ireland helmets. K-State just kind of did the Scottish knot or the Irish knot. TCU has their horned frog biting a 4-leaf clover.
Okay,
it's pretty cool. They did it in the Rose Bowl. They did where it's them holding a rose. They recreated it with a 4-leaf clover.
TCU's the kind of school that can change their uniform a billion times 100%. And get away with it. Yeah,
100%. All right, one more for you. This one, this actually made some pretty national. I would be surprised if you didn't see this one. UFL.
Their rule changes. UFL headline.
All right. The UFL has new rules coming up for the upcoming spring season they will experiment with. Number 1, 60-plus yard field goals are now worth 4 points. Number 2, no punting inside opposing territory. You have to go for it.
Okay.
Or kick a field goal.
That's a stupid one, but okay.
Well, if you're at like the 48,
the idea of it is fine, but if you're at the 48 and it's 3rd and 12, or second and let's say it's 2nd and 15, are you gonna take 2 steps back and kneel it on the next play so that you can punt?
Yeah, I guess you could if you wanted to. Lose it down. Number 3. No tush push. It's banned.
Good riddance.
So UFL Vice President of Officiating, Dean Blandino, said that they look at the NFL as a partner. The NFL is saying, could you try this? We're using NFL officials in their first couple of years for additional snaps. When we first tried the kickoff, you would have thought we were changing the fabric of the game. 4 years later, the NFL is using it. So
it's a great place. It's a great testing zone. I like testing this stuff. People will like the punting thing. I just think the logistics of it are hard.
I think that the punting thing just won't be used very much because how many times do people punt inside opposing territory?
Yeah, not much, but to force somebody when they're in that like 2 or 3 yard range, and then we've got a team like maybe losing. Like we don't need all of that. If a team
that part's gonna get confusing. Anyways,
the other ones I'm fine with though.
4.60-yard field goals is really interesting. I mean that makes
But again, no, it's never going to happen because again, if you're in range of a 58-yarder on 2nd and long, do you back up 3 yards?
Here's something really interesting. What is it typically? You snap it 5 yards back from the like. Can you just say like we're going to take a couple steps back? We're going to try for 60.
Yeah.
Is that way you're not like?
How about incorporate that? And if it's within 35 yards and you miss, you lose 3 points.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've always it's always been such a fascinating thing to me and it doesn't mean anything, but now it will if this is a thing that like we measure field goals from where the ball is literally kicked, but we measure touchdowns by the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm surprised with headlines today. Speaking of rules, you didn't bring up the ABS. That we started to see yesterday.
My biggest take on that of all time, and this is definitely coming from a guy that was just a hitter in his baseball career, is that a pitch that catches the zone by 0.1 millimeter, that's not a strike.
Yes, it is. It touched the strike zone.
It needs to have at least. It needs to have. I think the rule should be that like 50% of the ball has to be.
Well, then change the rule. Change the rule. But it is a strike because
like
the rule says it's
looking at the ball. I agree, but like the stitching hits the little bit of the zone.
It a better pitch.
No, it's a like that expands the zone by like 12 inches total. And then it's like
okay.
Do you want us to swing at that pitch?
Makes it a better pitch.
Okay, but by definition of the strike zone, like the whole point of the strike zone is supposed to be like balls that you can barrel up. Like if you want me to swing at this pitch that's here because it taught just a little bit of it right on my letters. Like, that's not a strike. Like, you need to make the rule 50% neat. And I understand, like, catching the black is a thing, but are you catching the black if you miss and you get a stitch in?
It's never been harder to be a pitcher. I'm for it.
Never been harder to hit a hitter. Hold on.
It's
never been harder to be a hitter, not a pitcher.
Yeah, they're both fine.
No,
I
don't
sent you a
give me that.
Merton. I sent you a Merton Hanks celebration video. So I need you to check that out. Tyson chimes in via email, sportsdaily@kfhradio.com, that comfortability is absolutely, all caps, he says, not a word.
Oh,
just as you would not use uncomfortability or discomfortability to describe the opposite feeling or action. I appreciate that, Tyson. Look, I don't think I use comfortability. This is a TJ thing. I think I would say comfort, level of comfort, not comfortability. But I'm not totally opposed to
it's just a different meaning. There's different context. It needs to be a word.
You know, what about likability or
not the ability to like?
Is that the same
Yeah.
Family, likability, comfort. Yeah. The ability to be
I
liked.
might go to war over this.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Listen, these take on lives of their own. If you would like to chime in on the grammar discussion, you can as well. Email is always a great place to get in touch with the show. Let's talk Chiefs when we come back on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Welcome back in, everybody. Sports Daily here on KFH, discussing the English language, among
I am
other
in the
things.
camp now. I think comfortability is in the same subcategory. Not even. I'm not even say that. It feels like it's like an ain't, or it's like it's definitely a word, but is it the right word to use? But it's not even that. It should be in the dictionary because there's not a way to say the ability to be comfortable. The context that I was using it was the lack of comfortability.
So, to the emailer's point, Tyson, would that be discomfortability, which he also says is not a word?
I mean,
uncomfortability.
Uncomfortability, I could see.
I'm leaning against you. I don't know that I've ever used comfortability.
I would say, I mean, I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to say the lack of the ability to be comfortable.
I wouldn't say discomfortability or uncomfortability. I'd say the lack of comfort.
I mean, I guess, but
I think I don't think I can tail you on this one. I don't think. If I use the word, let me know. Like if I'm just talking and I use it, let me know. Because I'm not going to proclaim with certainty that I've never used that word. Because I don't think that I have, but it's possible.
It's just such a shock to me. Like I feel like I've lived my whole life thinking that that's a word. I don't know how many times I've used the word comfortability, but
Bruce Hurdle was a wordsmith. We'll get Bruce on the horn. We're gonna have Bruce join now that he's retired.
And I understand. I understand the argument here is that it's not a word because
the argument is it's not a word.
Yeah. The Oxford Dictionary, the quick debunk is
now Oxford is like that's across the pond though. I don't
Merriam-Webster. It's not in the Merriam-Webster.
Give me the American dictionary.
Excuse me. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing that it's a real word because it's not in the dictionary and that rules all. But I'm arguing that maybe it should be.
I mean, they
add words all the time.
They're adding stupid.
They
words
add 6, 7 to the
all
dictionary.
The
they can add comfortability.
Yeah, they add dumb words to the dictionary.
The day that happens, even if I'm 60 years old down the line, not doing radio anymore, whatever it is, retired on a beach, I will call in to KFH and just take a victory lap that comfortability is in the dictionary.
Okay. All right. Do it. Just check out that Merton Hanks celebration video.
I will. Let me pull it up.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. Speaking of football, Merton Hanks, Chiefs could use a safety of that ability. Brett Veach talked yesterday. Talked a lot about a lot of things. Travis Kelce making the headlines. Nothing new there. Just saying the conversations are happening. I talked about Trent McDuffie A lot of dialogue, he said. He's first out of the gate, so we're going to get to meet with him and see how that future happens. But, like he brought up a good point about picking ninth. He was like, every year we pick 32nd. We wish we picked 25th. Now we pick ninth and we wish we picked fourth. Like he was like, you've got to take it and evaluate it like it is. Like we're always going to wish we picked higher. But it's interesting because he was asked the question and you couldn't really hear the questions. So it wasn't until they sent out the written word on this that I saw it. I knew he was talking about running backs when he was asked this question, but he was basically, TJ, asked with to the effect of what is the I don't know if the word weakness was used, but what is the greatest need basically that they have? And he quickly brought up the running back position, which was really interesting to me. We've had here's the question. Let me give you the question. I finally found it. Where do you view the biggest weakness heading into this season on offense, and how can you protect Patrick Mahomes coming off a torn ACL? The first part of his answer to that was certainly we want to get more explosive in the running game. Now, you and Brandon and Tommy have been giving me a hard time for continuing to say that Kareem Hunt doesn't bring any explosion to the running game. So A, you guys can all suck it. But B, it's the answer, right? We know that they need to run the ball more.
I don't think that any of us three were saying that Kareem Hunt was the answer.
On. No, not that he's the answer, but you guys were making fun of me for using the term they've got no explosion in the running game, which was absolutely the case. And I know it's probably like a crutch phrase I was using, but it's the truth. Like they've got to be able to on the ground. Kareem Hunt did very, very well.
Kareem Hunt ran 2 yards at 5 miles an hour.
That's right. But what he did was not, what you'd want to see 20 different times in a game. They must address that position, and the words straight from the man making the call. The answer to that question on how you help Mahomes and the biggest is explosion in the running game. And that brings it back to the conversation we've been having about that position.
This is an interesting thing is that I listened to Sam McDowell from KC Star. He was on the radio yesterday talking about this. And said basically like they're in a real crux is the word that he kept using. I like that word. Speaking of words, crux is that they need a running back and they're aware they need a running back and we're all aware that they need a running back. Your options are you use the 9th pick, which is the best pick that you've had in a long, long time, probably will be the best that you're going to have in a long time on a running back that immediately makes them one of the highest paid running backs in the league if you take them that high. Or 2, you don't pick them. You go get a running back like Breece Hall and you spend a lot of money in a off season where they're strapped for cash. Like they're cutting guys to try to get below the number.
Dana freed up some that we did. Did you expect the Dana?
I did not expect my
$9 million. I didn't either.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if they basically like they're going to have to keep cutting guys to make enough room to try to bring in a Breece Hall. So then it's like you've only got so much wiggle. That's really your only high profile signing you're going to get. Like only realistically, their only starter that they're going to be able to go sign with the amount of money that they're going to have. So it's like, which you have to do one of the two because you can't punt because the year that it is, as you've been talking about, RB2 and RB3 are a long ways away from RB1.
They don't have to punt. They can still draft a running back later in the draft. They have.
I know, but is that good enough to be? Is that a good enough to be your starting running back?
Jamal Charles, Kareem Hunt, when he was a rookie, would answer that question for you, and it would be, they sure can.
But if it's a year where you're trying to protect Patrick Mahomes, to the point of this question, like, can you trust a 3rd round rookie running back to be a bell cow?
Well,
because that's what they'll be.
Yes, I think you can. And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think that they should go big, but you can. Isaiah Pacheco, pre-injury, Isaiah Pacheco would have fit the mold perfectly. He was a 7th round pick. So, yes, you can absolutely do it that way. And that may be, by the time the finances come to this, Breece Hall, the Jets general manager yesterday, saying they're going to do everything that they can to keep him, whether that's maybe a franchise tag or forget what the other kind of tag they could potentially use on him, which would just suck.
Oh,
because
if they
I will
franchise
tell
tagged him,
you,
I'd be so mad.
I am all for Breece Hall at 11 million and keeping pick 9 instead of Love at 8.5 million and using pick 9. And I know people keep going back to Travis Etienne Jr. I am not as big on him as a player. I'm intrigued by him. I'm intrigued by him as a fit. But as a bell cow, he wasn't a bell cow in Jacksonville. He was never a bell cow in Jacksonville. Last year was the closest, and he actually carried the ball more than Breece Hall. He carried it 260 times. He was pretty effective last year. His yards per carry were higher than they had been in a couple of years. So if you believe in the 2025 version of him, then yeah, Travis Etienne fits the mold. And I'm look, if they evaluate him that way, he had a really good year last year. I'm okay with it. I think Breece Hall is a much better receiver than Travis Etienne, which I know is counterintuitive, but Breece Hall has a whole lot more catches, a whole lot more usage in the pass game. And Breece Hall is as a higher, career and most of the time yards per carry, yards per carry average than Travis. I just think Breece Hall's a better player. And if I'm going to spend I'd rather spend 11 million on Breece Hall than 9 million on Travis Etienne. Let me put it that way. But I'm intrigued by Etienne. I don't know though that I would think of him as a true NFL bell cow running back. I think Breece Hall is one of the only. There's not very many of those anymore. I happen to think Breece Hall is one of them. I don't think that about Etienne.
My point is, whatever free agent running back that you want to throw in the out, maybe like if you fall down to like Javonte, it gets more reasonable.
He got re-signed by the Cowboys. He's off the table.
Did he really?
I do like Javonte. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like somebody down in the next echelon of, but still, it's like
not Chuba Hubbard, Rico
Dowdle. So like he'd be more obtainable. But then again, like how much are you going to say? How much are you going to save?
Take a second or third round running back at that point.
Yeah, that's what it's a weird predicament that they're in. Like they're in a spot where they need to run the ball more than they've ever needed to run the ball, and they don't have a running back, and they're going to have to commit some sort of resource to it and have to take the hit elsewhere of the replacement value. Like, are you fine with drafting a running back, which means that you can't go sign a new whatever you want to say?
I don't know that I am, and I want them to run the ball. I think if my options are Love at 9 or elite pass rusher, or now probably, as much as it pains me to say it, like Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate at 9, and then addressing running back in round 2, 3, 4. I think I'd take that, because I do think at the end of the day, you can get a running back behind that offensive line that may not profile a certain way and kind of take a short-term answer to it, but still lean into the run as much as you need to. You can bring back Kareem Hunt for short yardage. You've got Brashard Smith in the pass game. If you basically just need to replace Isaiah Pacheco, but run it more, I think you can do that in the second or third, and maybe you hit a home run in the second or third round too, which is also possible. I don't Love at 9, making 8.5 million. You better think he's Bijan Robinson if you're going to do that. I mean, you have to think of him that way, and I just think that's pretty risky. I do. Now it could pay off. I'm not. If they take Jeremiah Love, if Jeremiah Love's for the Chiefs, I'm drafting him in the first round of fantasy football, and I'll get fired up about it real quick. It's not the worst case scenario. I just think there are better ones out there.
It's not so much the fact of like them taking a risk on Love and committing that to him early.
They'll have to give him.
Yeah, it's just the fact of like, it's the fact of, are you fine with it being a running back instead of a defensive tackle? Like that's my mind, or a wide receiver or whatever the replacement.
Well, I'd rather you get the right player. Like if you're reaching because it's a position, like if
that's
you
what
don't
I'm saying,
like then no, like if Jeremiah Love is clearly the best player on the board at that point, and then take Jeremiah Love. You can't miss on this pick, but you're in the top 10. There are other good players in this draft. Like, there are going to be bigger needs. I hope like hell that Breece Hall does not get tagged by the Jets. Are you kidding me? What a pain. He doesn't want to be there. I mean, he's politely made that as clear as he can make it. They've misused him forever. They're not good. They don't have a good offensive line. I just it'll be such an annoying thing to happen in his career if that happens. Now, here's the other option too. Short-term Band-Aid. Breece Hall's a free agent next year. I don't think they're going to tag him twice. They'd be crazy to tag him in the first place, as for all the needs that they have, to tag a running back and go pay him close to like what McCaffrey's making. That'd be the Jets being the Jets. That's bad. I love Breece Hall. That's a stupid roster decision for them right now. I hope that doesn't happen, because I would really like to see if he'd come play for the Chiefs for $10 or $11 million.
That's the thing too, is there an argument to be made somewhere about if Breece Hall is going to go sign somewhere, and it's somewhere where he's going to be a starter as soon as he walks in the door, and it gets to be his hometown team? Like, is there something to be said about, like, hey man, like, well, can we knock it down a little bit? Like, I know that you want this to happen.
Probably not for a running back, because they don't make very much anyway, comparatively.
This is going to be the biggest contract of Breece's career.
Yeah, you still want to give him market value, and I think the Chiefs can do that. Now, you may be able to structure it in a way that's beneficial to you.
True.
But I don't think Breece Hall needs to take it.
He's giving out bonuses like the Chiefs do for every player on the roster.
Breece Hall, to me, is one of only a handful of guys in this league that you can turn around and give the ball to 25, like the old school 25 touches a game type of player. He's one of the only, there aren't very many of those guys anymore. And he's one of them. He's an elite level runner. He has proven time and time again he's a big time pass catcher, and he has played behind some of the worst lines and for some of the worst offenses ever, and he has still been productive. You put him behind that Chiefs line, and he's going to go nuts with Mahomes at quarterback. I mean, he would go ballistic in that offense.
I agree. I think that he'd just be a bunch of fun too, with the amount of speed that he has with the offense. Like, it just feels like it's the one thing that they haven't had. Like, they've had Pacheco, who did but it's like he wasn't the explosive,
especially post-injury.
Yeah. But like, we always would joke that Isaiah Pacheco was good at one thing, and that was running in a straight line as hard as he could. Like, you couldn't roll him out on a wheel route. You couldn't, like, Breece Hall is an athlete. Like, you could do a lot of things with him.
Breece Hall's just a very gifted player. He's one of the most decorated college runners we've seen in a long time.
I'll ask this question, is that, to my point, like, with the way that the Chiefs are sitting, like, if they sign Breece Hall, like, that would be their only significant free agent signing. Are you okay with that?
Yes, because then they don't need to address it.
Is there anything else they need to address in free agency that they can't address in the draft?
Depth.
It's all depth, right? There's no glaring holes.
They won't have enough money. Even if they didn't sign Breece Hall, they're not going to have enough money to go make an impact free agent signing.
They can't go sign a defensive tackle.
They're freeing up the money to do something at the level of sign Breece Hall. And it may very, like, if you ask me today, and it's only February 25th, it's so early. If you ask me today what I think is going to happen, I think they'll sign Travis Etienne. That's what I think is going to happen. It's not what I want to happen. It's not the best option. But if the Jets are going to mess with Breece Hall, they're going to tag him, and they're going to do, whether they make him stay on the team or they're going to try and tag him and trade him. Like, he doesn't have as much value if he's tagged, because he's going to be making too much this year. Like, I don't know what the running back tag will be, but the highest end players, Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, remember, it's an average of the top 4 at the position. Like, at that point, he's going to get too expensive. So my gut says right now it'll be Travis Etienne, and they won't use the pick on Love. That's what my gut says right now. And I'll have to come around on it. Etienne did have a really good year last year. But I'd much rather have Breece Hall for the money. Much rather have Breece Hall for the money. I'd rather take Jeremiah Love if it didn't, if you were just taking player to player, I'd take Jeremiah Love over Etienne. Yeah. But he cost you the 9th overall pick, and you don't get those very often. It is as fascinating as I love it, because I think it's so interesting. All the components of what they do with that pick, I think, are so interesting. And now the Rashee Rice stuff comes into play. Whew. I can't wait. I don't know how much more information we're going to get from the combine, other than that's when these guys start talking. That's when business gets done. You put all these GMs in the same room, business gets done.
That's right.
So maybe
tomorrow we're gonna start getting 40 times. We're gonna start getting hand measurements.
I just can't. Yeah, because that means Xavier Worthy had the fastest 40 time ever.
That's right.
Neat. Okay, great.
That's right.
Shreyas
That's right.
Laddha joins.
Hey, you know who's at the combine this year? Jaron Kanik.
Oh, that's actually really cool. He'll be a
Tight end
combine.
Jaron Kanik.
He's going to turn some heads at the combine because his athletic ability is off the charts. Shreyas Laddha joins us next. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
Sports Daily on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
Welcome back in on a Wednesday edition of Sports Daily on KFH. It's a Hawaiian shirt Wednesday, and neither people on your screen are wearing a Hawaiian shirt, so we're not going to celebrate it. Take the music away, Max. Shreyas Laddha, KC Star, KU beat reporter, our KU Insider, joins the show. Shreyas, just when you think that you think you know something about KU, they confuse you again, and they kind of dominate Houston in a game on Monday night. Should we just peg it up to being a Monday in Allen Fieldhouse? What is this team?
I think this team at its peak is a very good basketball team. I think, like any good basketball team, they have stinkers. That's why it's college basketball, not the NBA. That happens a lot more. And that's the beauty of college basketball, right? Any given Monday or Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday, a team that's a top probably 10 team in the nation can have an absolute stinker against a non-tournament team at the moment in Cincinnati, like they did on Saturday. And then they can come in and beat the number 5 team in the country pretty convincingly in Allen Fieldhouse. That said, the magic of Allen Fieldhouse seems to make things happen more often than not. And Bill Self obviously is tremendously great at playing at home. I think he only has 23 home losses in his 23 years at Kansas.
No, so the biggest takeaway from me from this game is that after you leave Cincinnati, after you leave the Cincinnati game, and head into this one, like it could have gone one of two ways. Everybody was kind of starting to panic about that, and everybody was talking about what this team can do in March. That's what everybody's talking about. You know, this is something to me. Seeing Peterson play 30 minutes, them finding ways to win outside of Peterson. That's the biggest thing. Is that shows you that. If he has an off night, if he gets hurt or whatever it may be in March, you know, they're able to play the two different games together.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think Peterson's had a particularly great set of games since the BYU game. Mm-hmm. He played well against Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State hasn't been great. I think the best version of this team at this point is going to be not overly reliant on Peterson because he's just not healthy. And that's okay. It is what it is at this point. We're at the end of February and they haven't figured out this cramping situation, or if it's something else, whatever it might be. But I was very impressed with the role players, the other guys who stepped up. Flory was a star, even with just having 4 points. He was plus 17 because his defense was phenomenal. Melvin, Trey had great games. Even Bryson Tiller had a pretty good game. Jamari had a couple of big threes. I think this team, even without Peterson, could be a pretty good team. Like, they're much better than the last 2 years, even without him. And without him, I feel like it's, the ceiling is maybe a second weekend team. With him, I think they can go higher just because the attention he commands is immense on the court. And even if he's not playing to his full capabilities, he can be, I think, just such a threat on the court.
Yeah, my point that I brought up to Jacob earlier in the show is that it feels like that we've been waiting for, KU to find the way where it's like Peterson does what he does on the court, shot creates everything that he does, and then also finds the way that they play when they play so well without him on the court and how you can make that work together. I think that we may need to retrain our thinking into saying how can Darren Peterson fit into what the other guys do whenever they play so well with him out on the court? So maybe that means that it's not, him creating so much. Maybe that means going to Flory and Bryson and working the inside game and then having him there as like the 10 seconds left. Here's a grenade, Darren. Go do something with this. Like, that seems like the best version of KU in my mind now.
I completely agree. And I think it's got to be something like he's there to hit clutch shots, because it seems like he's just reduced to capacity with this injury to really give them anything consistently, right? And I think, he can't force the issue. Like, this is, if they want to win in March, maybe there's a time where he's going to have to force the issue because they're not scoring points. But right now, I think the best version at the end of the season, until he looks like he's kind of figured out how to play with the rest of the guys, is he's going to have to notch down his usage a little bit and let the other guys shine. And I think, that's going to be really interesting to see how that all plays out in the Big 12 tournament and the eventual NCAA tournament.
Yeah, as they get closer and closer to that Big 12 tournament, a point that I made, which is kind of funny to think about, is that KU forever, and a lot of Big 12 teams forever, have just been like, yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's a tournament. It doesn't really matter. Like, we're just kind of getting ready for March Madness. Like, for KU, it's important not in the fact that they need to win the tournament but it's important that they win games to have more games, because the level of comfortability, we'll get onto that as a whole sidebar, the level of comfortability of them playing together with everybody, the more games that you can have to figure this out, the better it is. So it's going to be a weird time in Kansas City, I think.
No, I completely agree. And I think, they're right now between a 3 and 4 line, depending on what happens Saturday. If they lose Saturday, which, I would not be surprised if they lose to Arizona at home, on the road. But the issue is Koa Pete's not playing, and I think another player is not playing. So I think Kansas has really a shot there. But for them, at least, the issue is. But I think they absolutely need to play more games. But also right now, like, they're at a weird position seeding wise, where like you don't want to drop down to a 4 seed as a projection. So you probably need to win at least a tournament game or two in the Big 12 tournament. And obviously that depends on how the rest of the season plays out. But everything, more games give more chemistry with this entire squad. I don't think we've seen them play like a team outside of, like, I can't remember the last time they looked like a team with Peterson playing. Like, it was before the BYU game. I'm trying to remember. Maybe the TCU game was the one that I feel like they really looked good together.
Mm. Yeah. So, changing topic, Shreyas, we haven't really spoken since the entire national media turned their heads towards Lawrence, Kansas. It's taken a full swing in that week now. It's gone from, to my mind, it turned into everybody and their sister throwing a dig at Darren Peterson, to now it's kind of turning into like KU fans for the most part, and a little bit of national media as well, swinging back on the pendulum and saying like maybe there's something, like, we need to take it easy here. Like, I've seen the full shift in a week. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, like the article I read from ESPN a few days ago, respect Myron, respect his work, but it was an absolute nothing burger. To me, his camp, Peterson's camp, had the chance to come out and give a clear, transparent message. And this is something that, I talked to somebody within his camp who was very annoyed with how the article came out, because they were like, well, this does not help anyone feel confident. She was like, the quote that he said, where he was like, that's the plan. I had an NBA scout text me the next morning and be like, man, I'm an antisocial loser, bro. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was told that there were scouts calling the camp asking if Peterson was okay after that press conference.
No.
Just wondering if he's like good.
That's,
mentally.
Inside baseball here.
Negative
sitting in Allen Fieldhouse, putting my story together on Monday night, is that like, that was the first time I've covered a press conference with Darren Peterson where I've been there. And so I was like, oh, here we go. Like, we're finally going to get something. And then I'm trying to put a story together, and I'm like, all right, he gave 3 sound bites for a total of about 15 seconds. And he basically was just like, yeah, it's been hard. Everybody says something, but it's fine. Like, I'll deal with it. And it's like, if everybody in the country is talking about it, like, perfect opportunity. You just beat the number 5 team in the country. You played 30 minutes. Like, come out and say, like, man, this sucks. Like, this sucks because I want to be out there and I want to do all this stuff. And I'm trying my hardest to be out there. And sometimes my body just doesn't let me do it. And it just feels like nothing, like they didn't say that. And again, you and I both are clearly not conspiracious about any of this stuff. It's just the messaging that's been going on is the part that's been more frustrating about all.
No, I completely agree. And there are people within this camp who feel the exact same way as we feel, where they feel like the messaging has got to be better about what's going on and more transparent because it's making Darren look bad and it's affecting his draft stock at the moment. Like, he's still not going to fall past 2, but there's a real question among front offices. Like, I wrote about this on Twitter, but I was talking to some draft guys and some NBA scouts, et cetera. Yeah. There are teams that want to be number 2 in this draft because they don't want to be wrong about Darren Peterson. They don't want to be wrong about picking the wrong guy at number 1. And, you know, I think the biggest thing that I will say from this is so much of what's been written by national media, I appreciate them having some nuance, but no one is asking tough questions to Darren Peterson. And that's something I was like, you know, I've been chasing the same Darren Peterson feature for 6 months now. And, you know, I think hopefully it seems like it might come to fruition in the next few weeks. But I told my boss the same thing. Like, we're going to have it probably the last part of that interview just be like 15 questions surrounding this situation. And if he wants to no comment it, we'll put it in the story. Like, I don't care about that because
that's the pushback part is that, like, even in the press conference, like, what other questions can you ask him whenever he doesn't want to talk about it? There's
a lot. I think there's a lot because
there is, but are there answers from him that he'll get? That's the.
I don't need to talk to Darren Peterson. I need to talk to his parents. If his parents want to talk about it, I always like talking to parents more than kids anyways. 90% of the time, the kid is not going to say anything revolutionary unless you're Grady Dick. Most guys, like everyone I've written a feature on in the last few years, Furphy, Flory, Darren, or, not Darren, but etc. Like, the camp surrounding them is always much more interesting. Grady was the one exception to that rule because Grady's a talker. But I think this is a massive disservice to his talent to let him not be transparent about everything going on. And it's clearly having an effect on everything. And I straight up told his camp, like, if we do this, I'm not holding back questions. I've been chasing this story for 6 months now. You guys know where I stand on the issue. And somebody told me, they're like, we've read all of your stuff. We think you're very fair and nuanced in it. We appreciate, being fair. And I don't know if it will come to fruition, but like, I can tell you this much. There are people in his camp that really want me to write this feature because they think the ESPN article and some of the other stories that have come out this week have not done a good job whatsoever of explaining what's happening behind the scenes, of explaining what he's going through. And I told them that, like, there are going to be some questions that they're probably going to be uncomfortable with me asking. I'm going to ask Darren about, how do you feel about your dad and agent being in the national conversation? Like, that's a tough question to ask a kid, but you have to ask that question.
The part about it that's the weirdest right now is that, as I'm saying, we've seen the full swing that the Houston game, and even, Cincinnati, he didn't play particularly well. Houston blitzed the crap out of him. That's a little bit of Houston's thing there. But, like, this is the perfect opportunity to be like, I feel better as a KU watcher about the Darren Peterson situation after the last 2 games. He played 30 minutes. There was the part of the Houston game, he went out and he had the wraps on, and he came back in the game and played 8 more minutes. Like, that to me is him playing through things, finding ways to finish games. I feel better than I have all season about it.
I completely agree, and I think the clock is ticking. I mean, Bill Self has been a little harder on him at press conferences on defense and this and that. They know what they need to get out of him, and they need him to play at least 30-plus the rest of the way.
Yeah. It's the biggest story surrounding them, and they played number 5 and number 2 in the nation this week. This schedule is unbelievable, Shreyas. I can't believe it. Shreyas, appreciate you stopping by. Are you going to Tucson?
I will be there.
He's going to Tucson. There you go. They're still in mountain time out there, so we'll let them get some sleep before next Wednesday. Shreyas, we appreciate it. We'll be right back.
All right, thank you.